Hey, everybody!
Hello,
Hey!
hello, hello. We're
And we got
back.
Coco Tapes. Yeah. So today's
Yep.
subject is actually your suggestion, my dear. And it's the
Yeah.
subject of courage.
Courage.
Yes, courage.
Courage. Yes. Courage. Courage. Courage.
So
Yep.
now we said the word 4 times. You want to go move on to the next Coco Tape?
You go. What does courage mean for you?
Oh, man. I don't know. The first thing I always think of is to have the courage of one's convictions.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Meaning.
which leads me to another maxim of mine, which was I'd always rather be convinced than convincing. So, what does courage mean to me? Well, courage actually means, yeah, to live, to have the courage to live as who you really are, as what you really stand for, to stand by what you mean, to stand by your convictions. Courage for me is always connected to conviction, actually. It has always been that. I don't know. Is that the same for is that the same for you?
I don't think so.
No?
This is why it's so interesting with words, right? Because even though it's the same word, it usually means a lot different for everybody.
Okay, what does
Everybody kind of defines the words or the meanings of the words differently, right? So this is why I think it's very important to have the courage to actually ask people, well, what does it mean to you? For you, let me understand what does blue, what does it mean for you? What is blue to you? You know, because some people it's life giving, for some people it's depressing. The color blue, right? You know, so it's interesting. So this is one of the first things I learned back when I took the NLP master practitioner. Ask. You know, because we define things so differently. I don't know. I don't have a definition of courage because it's just something I've always had. So I guess courage for me is, yeah, to stand, to have the courage to be who you are, to have the courage to do what you dream of, to do it, yeah, to shut out the outer world and just focus on your own will and move forward and shut off the all the words, the people, the
but
rules. Yeah. I would
but
say courage is about questioning
but then
yourself and everything else.
that sounds to
Hmm.
me like exactly the same as I just said, because it means
Maybe.
that you have the ability to live by your conviction, to live by what you believe to be true, in spite
Yeah.
of everybody else
Yeah.
telling you different or
Yeah.
whatever, that
Yeah.
you live by your own blueprint, by your heart.
And this is something we see that what 98% can't do. I'm not saying I do it all the time. Just
Yeah.
saying I saw it especially during the lockdown period.
Hmm.
There you saw the absolute lack of courage almost everywhere.
True.
From the strongest person to the weakest to the boldest to the, yeah, everywhere from
Yeah, but
normal people.
at the same time, I also feel like you saw how deep the program runs, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. This is what I mean. I mean, I don't think anybody should take anything personal in general. I never take anything personally. Secondly, like when people get offended, many get offended with things I say because I say them very in your face, and not to be in people's face, but again, because I cut off all the all the sugarcoating, you know. So yes, it's a program, of course, that people decided to be, yeah, the sheep style, you know, just to follow and not be courageous enough to listen to the big voice or maybe just a little subtle voice saying, "This is not right. This is not what I like, or this is not what I believe," you know. And that, of course, is the program. And also, maybe what I saw reminded me the other day. Now somebody's coming, but uh, that that you know that the 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 program is so deep that beside next to that the IQ level in general. And again, don't nobody get offended because we can't help that we're being dumbed down through all the, again, the food, the water, the air for many generations. That even though I don't really follow statistics, but it resonates in me. They say that the generation from every generation, the IQ goes a little down. I don't give much for IQ, but let's say the general intelligence of all kinds is like getting smaller and smaller, and which means the program is easier and easier to be,
Mm.
you don't even question anymore. Just like, yeah. It's awful words, really, dumb and dumbed down, sheep, and but herd mentality. Let's just say herd mentality
Yeah.
to follow. So courage is now a big topic again, I believe, because as we enter in some areas of the world, winter, things get dark, things get depressing, and you're supposed to maybe now you could level up in the courage. Like, how do I really want to live? And find people that are courageous, even maybe just in fiction if you don't know anybody.
Mm.
Like what I liked about the NLP, the neuro linguistic programming, which is the new psychology, is they had this super simple principle. Really, you find somebody that's good at something. It could be sewing or sweeping the floor, whatever, basketball player, and it's become a role model. You model, you copy their behavior, their train of thoughts. You read the biographies, you watch the videos. Just like a football team, like the coach will have the football team watch, sequences from a football game from some super good football players or something, again and again and again. You actually become this, this little section you see for episode or whatever. And this is the same with courage. I think you must look at some people, find somebody that you really feel has the balls, has the courage, and live the life they want to live. Because I think it's very difficult if you're so programmed to start just being courageous. Like, because the whole pattern, the family structure people are in, the relationships, the work dynamics, everything. There's so many programs. So you wake up Monday morning, you want to say, I'm going to be courageous now. It's like really uphill, right? To start saying the things you want to say to your kids or your partner or to your boss or co-workers.
But as much as I hate to admit it, it can be really annoying when your kids actually don't listen to you. But in that sense, I feel that I have some really good kids because they question everything.
Yeah.
And they don't just do anything I say because I say it. They will ask the questions every time. And it can
Yeah,
be
but it stops around 8 or 9. Your kids are still young. That's why. It
yeah,
stops when they get to school and been there for like a year or something and been told for the first year all the time, be quiet, don't,
but
This
it,
is
it,
where it
it
can't
won't
start.
it won't stop if you keep on encouraging them to ask the question.
No, but they get in trouble in school. See, that's the point. So maybe at home you encourage the question, but at school they may get in trouble. And this is why, and they don't want to be unpopular in the class. They don't want their friends sitting there, oh, here he goes again. Or, so they will slowly, this is what I see in general, and it happened to me, my kid, whatever. Again, the herd mentality, you're sitting there with 22 other kids or whatever, and you keep on being the one questioning, why is it called that? Why is it like this? Why do we have to do that? So what? And you can feel that they find it annoying. Often the teachers can't even answer because the question the kids are asking are quite brilliant, really, normally,
Yeah.
often. And then you become the subject of annoyance. And slowly the kids' self-esteem, of course. And even though the kids come home and they say, and you keep encouraging them, just question everything. But every time they go to school, where they actually spend a lot of hours every day away from the parents,
Yeah.
they're told it's wrong.
Yeah.
They're told it's like that because it's like that, And this is the problem. This is why I say don't have kids in school. Take them out of schools. It's better to have them just playing in the yard or whatever.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. But that's a whole different topic. The whole
Yeah, that's another story. So courage, yeah. And I guess this is the way that the programs run. They take out the teeth of the kids from a very young age, and which means and the grown-ups are also, toothless and powerless. They gave it all away, right? To fit in. So how do you start being courageous when it's like your whole surrounding needs to adapt to your new energy, or it's difficult.
But I think the funny thing about it is that it is very much also connected to, well, this, the subject of love, or let's say, and compassion, and maybe even more so, having the courage to keep an open heart, right?
Yeah.
Because it's it's like uh, we're during school, during and in public, and from uh, from the press or anywhere, you always get told, shut your mouth, but
Yeah.
bow your head and mind your own business,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, and that's like, I mean, I'll never forget, what was it, that if you really want people to come when you're in trouble, you have to yell fire,. Because then everybody will come and look.
Mhm.
That's what they teach women that are being sexually abused or something.
Mm.
They tell them, don't yell rape, yell fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That will
Yeah.
get people to come.
Yeah.
But it's the thing
Yeah.
about, I find that it is very much because I fought for a long time also with the thing about the heart being closed. Uh, if you believe in chakras or whatever, it's I think the one I had the hardest time with trying to open that again, because it's the first place you close, because you get hurt, you get, disappointed, all these things. And I think the seat of courage is very much in the heart, for
Mm.
some reason.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the heart is probably the part of our anatomy that is the most beaten up by by the things we learn, the false teachings we learn, the false info we are fed with every day, all day long.
And not only that, it's also in every other aspect, like physically, like women wear bras. There's metal, and the heart is not just a pump or muscle. It's an electrical. You know how it is. It's the main, what you say, center for the torus.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's another story. So in all ways, like, yeah, bras with metal in, that disrupts the electricity, the flow. A woman, what was it more? Pull out the wisdom teeth. The wisdom teeth are connected to the heart. So many people are getting to know this now, that each tooth is connected to an organ. So and all diseases kind of start in the mouth, really, it comes from there. So when you pull out these teeth or do root canals, you're closing down an extra energy line, like a cord, which is really, really, really crazy. I mean, I wish I'd known this before. So there's so many things where the heart is being affected negatively, physically, or frequency wise as well, besides all the things we've been hearing and being told and see, in our environment, and from our role models, the close heart. And I just I never think about this because I can't. I have to, like, in some areas I do like this. How many people are just not living their dream life, or dreaming anyway, really? Neither family wise or relationship wise or parenting or hobby wise. Or it's like they settle, right? You learn to settle because you stop questioning again. Is there another way? Is there a better way? Is there a different way? Should I, do I dare to? And often partners keep you back too, hold you down, which is the biggest sin in my world. If you talk about sins, is when you're around people that don't nourish you and help you grow, but actually help you stay stuck where you are. They do this again, pattern. I'm not saying they're evil. Not everybody is evil. Some are, the patterns, about feeling safe. And of course, it's specifically a lot in the North. It's, because of the weather, the climate, whatever. It's a cold, small tribe areas, and I get it. I get the way to keep the herd safe. You cannot pop up too much. You cannot wear a red hat because then the enemy can see you easier. Yeah, yeah, sure. It's true. And this is why you also see a lot of talent from the North countries move out. You know, because if they gotta realize their dream, they cannot be in this very close herd mentality. That's quite extreme, I find, in the North part of the world. So yeah, so the thing about how do you become courageous in the middle of your life where you probably have responsibilities and so on, and I don't think it's possible. I think it's
Thank you. Leave
you
a
gotta
comment, subscribe.
don't even try, forget it. It's just a lost ground. No, because it does really take. Maybe this is why we see people go to and like take retreats or go on a longer trip or so on to find peace to like clean out, detach, and so on. And for my case, I see it happening with people that like maybe get divorced and decide to do the inner work, which means they will go hiking or traveling or go on a long retreat with themselves, you know, or go like get lost in some mountains to actually sit alone, to try to find to connect again, you know, with the power, or maybe find it for the first time because it's maybe they never felt they had it because it's been so many years ago, right? Maybe they were 2 years old when they lost it, or even one. You know, it goes way back. And again, there's a lot of angles to this. You know, in the North as well, in the water, they say they put, you know, the hormones in the water, and that's why the frogs are turning female, and the men too. And I'm not saying it's only men that can be courageous, but they can be first movers as they're active, which means the rest of the family or the people around them will dare to be courageous, you know. And it's very hard when you have like a father or a role model that's not courageous. I have known many friends where I can see they felt their father never realized their real dream. He became a supporter or whatever. So he was always not happy and always, you know, drinking or whatever to, you know, forget that he's not really become what he wanted to or dreamt of or could have been. Or and that's really sad because I think the worst thing really is when we don't realize our dreams, when we don't have the courage to step out and do what you want to do. I have many people around me are used to. They wanted to do something else or try and they don't dare to. They, oh, but what about and what about I have to pay my bills and so on, so on. But you know, the courage is to actually believe 100% in what you're going to do, that you're going to be supported, and you leave your day job and you work forcefully or fiercely on your project or whatever. And if you, this is what I see, and this is what I had to do myself, then you will be supported. Then for some reason, things start to work out, you know. I remember when I'll tell my own story, where I had to like really challenge my own courage. I could never understand that I couldn't like, I never really got fired from jobs, but I never liked it. And I would work there like 3 months, half a year, and I'll be like, and it was cool jobs and really good stuff, but I just couldn't. And I couldn't understand it. I was like, I could work intensely for 3 months and then I would need 1 month break. And I thought, okay, that's because I have an artist spirit. I'm very good at project. I'm a project person. Okay, that's fine. So I decided to go to a psychologist, a therapist every week to find out what was this about. Because I actually felt like a failure because I couldn't do like the rest. I could not. I could be the herd person. So I went there, and the therapist said to me one day, but listen, you're an artist. Yes, yes. Okay. And this is why. Before I went to the therapist, I sat out I was walking in the forest every day, like crying, thinking, again, all the shame, the guilt, how come you can't? And then finally she challenged me, she said, next week you come here, you have set up a show, an art show, to do your art. What? 1 week? And again, I went out the door and I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it because I'm a daredevil. You can't, if you challenge me, I cannot let it go. You know, that's a little stupid side, but it's also a good side. Like, okay, you say I can't, I'll do it. You know, yeah. So, and on the way back home, actually on this big main street, I saw this gallery slash framing spot that I've noticed before with a really cool artist that was very popular at this time. And I went in And I took a talk with the owner and I showed some photos and she said, yeah, sure, come bring it down. And that's again the courage when you push. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter how crazy it is, no matter no money, no income, what am I going to do? I will just 100% believe this because this is for me. This is what I want to do. And the rest is history. That's whatever, 14 years ago, something like that. And I decided never to step back and never have a boss again. I will have co-workers or co-bosses and co-leaders, of course, but I cannot work under somebody because I don't believe in this under and over stuff. I'm not a good soldier, so put it that way. So yeah, so what was my point? The what? Yeah, when you need to blossom with your courage, I guess you need to do some inner work. Oops. Yeah.
Oops, what?
Oopsie. Come here. Sorry. We got somebody on the line.
Hey, Kiki.
Okay, well, I don't know. Courage, is that enough about courage for now?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
We can get back to it. We can get- But yeah, I think it's there are so many aspects to it. There is
The
like
air.
the civil courage and all of that stuff. Sometimes I think when you look at the curve from we always say that wow things have gotten so much better and we've developed and all of that. But if you look at the curve from civil courage during what the civil rights movement like in the 60s or something, right? To be I mean how much courage or the students in the 70s or in 69 and blah blah, and then you see what's going on today or what you see on the telly, I find
Yeah.
it really really wow hard to look at. Actually today in Denmark was very much like a thing also, because the politicians are doing stuff again, taking means of, away from
I heard that.
education, taking lines of education away and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And so the
Yeah. Yeah.
students are demonstrating, right? But the
Yeah,
thing,
actually, our fellow friend Lisa's boyfriend, Lars, is doing a big demo. He's, yeah, thumbs up for him, by the way. Cool. He's doing a big thing today. Yeah, I heard about it in
but the
Denmark.
thing is that I also, when I listen to them talk and it's like the press makes it a part of, reporting, but somehow when you look at it and listen to it, you already know where it's gonna go. Like it's like there's this sense of uh, it. Not that it really, even in the times when people really went on the barricades, that they really got everything they wanted, right? But it's like today it's even worse. They still give them the satisfaction of mimicking to go on the barricades and no
Yeah.
outcome whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's really shocking to me because it's like, how do you keep the spirit of your kids up when they see that, okay, so what I can march for whatever, like the wars that are going on now and
Mm.
huge public, outpouring and stuff like that. And it's not at all reflected in our, in the press, in reality.
No.
It's like totally ignored away.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It
So
is.
yeah, courage, good subject, and let's leave it here at that. But say that this is
Hmm.
definitely something which we all need to focus on, which we all need to, be ponder on it, think about, meditate on it, think about
It,
how to hoot am I
it
manifesting my courage in everyday life, and
that I think they yeah, well I'll end with saying basically if you play life like this is your own show.
hmm,
And you're alone in this show. And in this show you put out different people to play ball with, really. So it's your show. So you only do what you feel is right for
yeah,
you. And you just do it. Just do it. And it could be anything from it's anything. And suddenly you'll see it like a chain of good reactions, different It's anything to have the courage to cross the street in a way where you believe that if you put out your hand and wave at the driver will stop. That's also courage. Instead of standing on the curb for half an hour waiting for somebody,
Yeah.
that is also courage to believe. And this is what I do, and they don't believe the way I'm getting over the streets here and driving because they're like, what? Because I think again, you take the courage everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
nice. I'm doing something. I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
and you pay it forward and so on.
But
And
again, was
suddenly,
I right then? It takes the
huh?
conviction because you
Yeah,
step
yeah,
into the
yes,
street with the conviction that in 5 seconds I will be on the
yes,
other side of that street.
yeah,
So
yeah,
conviction.
exactly. Instead of doing the one, oh, you can never get over here, so
Yes.
rush hour and and you're already manifesting a whole
Yeah.
bad scenario. Instead of
Exactly.
saying, I'll get over here in 5 seconds. It's fine.
All right.
It's
Let's
all in
leave
your
that
head.
done.
Yep.
And like, subscribe, share, leave a comment.
Question.
Question everything, friends. Question everything.
Yes, yes,
Do your own
yes.
research, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.